Hello and welcome to Cupcake Addiction's basic smooth fondant dome cupcake tutorial, where I'll be showing you how to achieve this beautiful smooth fondant dome finish from either fondant or modelling chocolate on your cupcakes. Tools and equipment to achieve this finish: we have some cornstarch. You can also use icing sugar, and I like to keep mine in a little shaker for even distribution. I've got a circular cookie cutter. Now, giving you the size, you just want to take your cupcake, so whatever size cupcake or muffin you're baking with, you can see there the ratio. It's roughly a size bigger than the outside of my patty pan, and that's just going to allow for the raised dome of the frosting. I've got some frosting. You can also use ganache, you can use tinned frosting, you can make your own frosting. Any frosting is fine. I've got a fondant roller or just a regular rolling pin, a butter knife with a nice flat edge on the back, and my either fondant or modelling chocolate. Both will work. So I'm going to start by just preparing my cupcake with some frosting. Now try to avoid getting frosting in these outside seams. If you do, you can use a dry tea towel or a cloth just to wipe up them, but you really want to try and contain that frosting as much as you can, because once you pop that lovely fondant dome on, you want it to be as neat as possible. So you can see there I've actually pushed it into the patty pan, but it's not going over the side, or into the cupcake liner. So then I'm just going to build up the middle. Bit of a blob of frosting on there. And I'm just working it back and forward with my knife, being sure not to take it over the sides, once again, of that cupcake liner, till I get a bit of a rough dome. Don't worry if it's not perfect, you can smooth it off a little bit if you like. Something that looks like that. Now we're going to take the fondant or the modelling chocolate. We have a great recipe on our channel for modelling chocolate if you would like to check that out. Otherwise, fondant is fine. Sprinkle out a little bit of that cornstarch or icing sugar. Place down your fondant, roll it out. Now I always like to keep my fondant moving. A couple of rolls, turn it. Once again, a couple of rolls and turn it. And I don't like to have my fondant too thick because it can become quite sickly with the buttercream and all the other sweet things that you've got going on. So I always like to have a nice thin fondant layer. Make the icing the star of the cupcake. So when I'm happy with the thickness of my fondant, you can see there it's not too thick. I'm going to pick the cleanest part with the least cornflour stains or anything like that, and just use my circle cookie cutter to cut out a nice circle. Then I'm going to just lay this circle over the top of that buttercream frosting. I'm going to start in the middle, and just using my fingers, I'm just pushing it down. So really lightly, don't push that frosting out. You really want to be pushing the fondant, but not the actual frosting underneath it, because you don't want that frosting to come out the sides too much if you can avoid it. You can see there, it's coming out a little bit, but that's all right. We're just wanting to meet it up with the cupcake liner. Once again, try not to let it get into the sides of the cupcake liner. Just tuck your fondant dome all the way around, and then you can use your finger just to swipe around and take off any of that excess frosting. Once you've got any excess frosting off, just use the palm of your hand to circular motion, smooth out that lovely fondant dome. So there you have your smooth fondant dome finish. You can see here some other cupcakes that we've used this same finish for, and I think you'll agree it adds a really nice, clean, smooth finish to your cupcake. It does take a little bit longer than the regular buttercream frosting, but I think it's worth it. If you love our tutorials, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. We upload 3 times a week, and we've always got great new stuff coming out. Thanks very much for watching.